where we talk about real solutions to real problems that affect real people. This is real shit, right? And so I want to talk about something a little happy today, and that is the power of love. I think that the power of love is probably the most underestimated, underutilized arsenal or weapon in the arsenal of humanity. What do I mean by that? I think, first of all, excuse me, trying to catch a cold here, that the need to be loved is perhaps the greatest human need beside air, food, and water, shelter. People need to be loved. We're created for connection. And don't get that twisted because I'm not talking about any God stuff here. But the whole thing is the human animal, the human being has a need for connection. Now, this love thing, and I've said this before many times, that love at its most elemental component is empathy and compassion. You have to first love yourself before you can love others or expect to be loved. Why? Because you can only expect what you project. In other words, you're not going to get tomatoes from planting potatoes. You have to basically set forth in motion the thing that you expect to possess. And one of the things that I think is a challenge with people, because if you don't understand that love at its elemental component is empathy and compassion, and if you don't love yourself, which means you don't have empathy and compassion for yourself, how do you have it for others? Because again, you can only expect what you project. So if you're not projecting empathy and compassion, and that empathy and compassion must reside first in you in order for you to project it, you can't expect it. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to change your paradigm. Now, I love this part because in recent times, in the last couple of months, so many of my paradigms around love have just been kicked over. And it's it's funny because it's a happy thing. Like, first of all, I used to say things like, well, there's no such thing as soulmates. That, everybody has the potential, a range of potential that could possibly work for another person, right? Well, that got kicked over. And I actually believe that the whole concept of soulmates to be true, and be absolutely true. And then also the whole paradigm of what is it? Okay, so we talked about soulmates, and then the completion. That's where I'm going. Having a senior moment here. That people say someone completes them, and I used to say, no, nobody completes you, because if you're going into a relationship incomplete, then that means that you need to work on yourself first. But no, here, let me give you an example. An engine, a car engine, can be totally complete, can be fully assembled, and have all of its parts. But if you change something, yeah, and this is something I'm speaking about from experience. If you go from like cast iron cylinder heads to aluminum cylinder heads, well, now you've reduced some of the weight, and basically, if the ports are bigger, you're better, you have everything, and the engine performs better. So now these parts complete the engine, and not only complete it, like, because the engine was complete before, but now it's completed and more efficient. It's completed and it has better performance. It's completed and it has more power. It's completed and you follow what I'm saying? Is that so you can actually find someone who completes you. I shouldn't use the air quotes because that's not actually true. That this person could actually complete you. Well, why is all of this important? Because if we get our shit together personally, then we can work on getting our shit together corporately. It's only when we figure out ourselves, do we position ourselves to be part of a greater solution? And this is why, first of all, I've talked about the importance of self. I did a whole week long master class on that, or a 4 week master class rather, on understanding yourself and unpacking yourself. Because if you don't understand you, and you is the most important person you're ever going to have a relationship with or do business with, if you don't understand that, you can't do it. You can't work it out with anybody else. So getting to know yourself, getting to love yourself is important. Now, one of the things that there are people who are watching this, and they're saying, well, Derrick, I've been looking for love and looking for love. And there's a song that says looking for love in all the wrong places. Guess what? You are looking for love in the wrong places, because if you're looking for love externally without first finding love internally, then you're absolutely looking for love in the wrong places, because what you're looking for is love that's going to be externally sourced instead of internally radiated. But once you get it inside and you begin to project this, now you can expect it. And here's the thing, you have to really kind of get to know yourself, because if you're an asshole at your core, assholishness is what you're going to expect, what you can expect. If you're a dick internally, that's what you can expect externally. But if you figure these things out, what's going on internally, and you fix the internal issue, the external issue will begin to resolve itself. And this was something, again, this is something that happened to me in real life, in real time, in recent time, because I had come to the conclusion, well, I'm thinking like maybe I wasn't really worth being loved. And I had to fix that. And once I did, my entire external paradigm changed. The completion that I was looking for came. The soulmate, that all of that, everything, all of these things came together. And so now I'm at a point where I am just literally bubbling over with effervescent, pressed down, shaken together, running over happiness. And it's a good feeling. And more importantly, I'm not content to simply have it for myself. I want to share this with others so that you can experience this same level of happiness, so that you can experience the same level of joy. And watch this. When people are happy and they feel loved, it changes their behavior. And when this behavior changes, it's like you start doing things that empower yourself, empower others. You make the world a better place. And that's the goal. That's the goal. Once you start loving yourself, projecting that love, you start receiving that love and perceiving that love. Now you get inspired. You get motivated. You feel like championing a cause. You feel like knocking down barriers. You feel like, hey, I can make a difference. And one of the reasons why the world is so fucked up right now is because so many people feel unloved. And when you feel unloved, basically, this is an elemental need. This is something that is absolutely essential to to a healthy human mind, a healthy human heart, healthy human emotions. If you don't have this love, if you don't feel this love, if you don't perceive this love, you're going to act out in very unhealthy ways. But once you discover the love you have inside, and you begin to broadcast that love, and think of yourself as a radio station, or think of yourself as a server in the cloud, that basically you're sending out something. And what's going to happen is that life is bidirectional. what what you're sending out, it's going to come back to you. Now, there are going to be some people that say, well, Derrick, I project love and I'm not receiving love. Okay, go back and look at your love and ask yourself. And this is one of these things where you have to be absolutely true to yourself and you have to ask yourself, is the love that I'm projecting authentic? Because see, we can all put up a good game. And depending on the strength of your your ability to to play a role, you might be able to project this incorrect or inauthentic image, or as a friend of mine would say, that you put up your representative, and you put up that representative as long as you can, and then when you what you find is that when you are just putting up your representative, you're not being transparent, you're not being vulnerable, then you're not really projecting true love, and you can't expect to receive true love. But once you put the representative down, take the walls down, you know, become a little transparent, become a little vulnerable, because this is what it takes. Then you'll start projecting true, genuine, authentic love, and that will draw true, real, authentic love to you. And again, what happens is that this need is now fulfilled in you, and your need to act out in, let's say, in low emotional IQ or low vibration ways it either becomes limited or eliminated altogether, and you begin to act in better ways, which again, that is going to draw more positive energy toward you, and it will impact other areas of your life. Because see, here's the thing: when when you have self love, you draw things to you. And you draw things to you in a positive way. See, here's the thing. There's some people that are just naturally charismatic and they're able to draw things to them because of their charisma, but their character, their inner love mechanism isn't solid. It isn't sound. And then what happens is that these people, they go out and they do things. And this is how you get people who hoard resources. People who hoard resources, people that are amassing billions and not sharing that with others, I humbly submit to you that these are people who have issues with self love. Because if they had self love, then their love for themselves would inspire a love for others, and they would take their massive resources and put it to work for the betterment of others and not just hoarding and piling. So, those are the things that I wanted to talk about today. Listen, people say love makes the world go round. And I believe that there's absolutely something to this. And, it's funny, I haven't actually taught something on love in a long time, but let's just say now I understand. You know, there was a time when I understood, and then there was a time when I didn't, and now, again, I do. And and for that, I'm grateful. And I would like to see what you have to say about this. I'd like to see your comments. Put your comments in the chat. If you have any questions or comments, you can inbox me on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, wherever you see this video. But remember, first of all, love yourself. Have empathy and compassion for yourself. This will lead to empathy and compassion for others, which again will draw empathy and compassion from others toward you. And the love that you seek, you will find. Okay? So until the next time, be happy, be well, be filled with peace. Love you.